Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. In this segment of the series, we're going to be covering how we got this to look like this. More specifically, the shelves and how we measured and cut our tiles for the shelves, the face pieces, and the Schulter trim on the shelves themselves. Touch a little bit on how we got the metal trim above us and some tile underneath. And at the very end, we're going to go over some follies or some mishaps. You don't want to miss that because I'm easy to laugh at. Stick around. But if you're new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, turn on that bell, ring the bell, turn on the notifications. So you'll be the first to know when we pump out the next video for this series. Okay, no further ado, let's get going.
Okay, so a quick tip here. We have our corner shelves, so we're going to put our tile in and we're going to measure it to cut it. Quickest way to measure and cut. Set your tile in on the top just like we did on top of the shelf. Line your side spacing up that you're going to use for your grout line. Just get you a pencil or marker or whatever. Give it a little bit of pressure. Score a line on the bottom. Now this tile is big enough to get the top shelf and the bottom shelf. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to label it real quick. So this is the top shelf and it's going to go on top. So it gets a TT. Basically, take my same towel, turn it around, set it in position, make sure my spacing's correct, and the same thing, I'm just going to draw me a line. Then we're going to label it top shelf, bottom. I've already done the middle shelf the same way. Now I'm going to go out and cut all these pieces, then I have all the pieces for my shelves in one cutting session. And let's see if you can see the lines there. Probably not so well. Okay. It's in pencil, they're there, we're going to go cut. What this does, it saves me time instead of having to get my ruler out. Measure from edge to edge so I get my diagonal line, measuring the side so I know how far to go out and get, and then having to go and recreate this and draw these on the tiles. Basically, I could just get a mark here at my distance. Same thing on the other side. Now I can put like 10 3/4. I can run it down the edge of my tile and make a mark. The other side I do the other 10 3/4 and draw me a diagonal line across, then I have my line to cut. This method here, just a quick simple method to measure tiles, especially for these types of corner shelves. Okay, so we're in the middle of our process of mapping out our shelving and tiles, and our trim pieces, and our face pieces. What we got to do right now is find the center line for our shelves for our face tiles. We've already cut them, and what we've done is we put a 45 edge on the end, so when we line up, we're going to come in smoothly to our tile on the wall, on both sides. We have more than 13 inches, which is the size of our tile, so we're going to use two tiles for the face. We want this line to be in the middle, and to keep a good line with the corner of the wall and the middle shelves, and we want everything to line up. So basically what we did, took a tape measure and measured the length of the top shelf. And we have about 15 to 7/8, okay? Took that in half, made us a mark, okay? Right at 7 15/16. Measured from both sides to make sure that we are at 7 15/16. Which we are. We drew us a line. Now the quickest way to get everything lined up is take your level, line it up on your mark, on your top shelf. Get the edge flush with your line. Now myself, I like the Empire digital level because it gives me a digital readout of when I'm exactly level. No guesswork, line it up, keep in place, triple zeros. Get my marker, and come in and mark my other shelves. basically, now I have the center line for my marks so I can map out the rest of my tile work and where I'm going to cut each tile. I already did this and I've already labeled, but I'll take you what I did. This is MR for medium shelf right side. So basically, put my tile in place I'm going to cut here, use my 1/8" spacer for the grout line, line it up with my line, my mark, and mark the tile. So that's where I'm going to cut the right side tile. Same thing for the middle left. Put it up, get your 1/8" spacer for your grout line, come in, line it up with your mark, and make a mark. The thickness of my saw blade will leave me the space that I need in the middle for my grout line. I do that with each shelf, so I have a good clean line following into the back of the wall and the face of the shelves. Okay, so you can see we have our facial tile cut. Now we need to measure for our metal trim. It's going to go across the face as well. It's also going to be 45 to meet up in the corners, flush with the other tile on the wall. Basically, we took our cut pieces, got our spacer in here to keep our center line that we did with our level, digital level. Or you can use a regular level. Just line up the bubble, mark your lines. So now we're going to measure the ends because we still want to keep our gaps on the end for grout lines. All right. So 15 5/8 is going to be the piece of metal we cut from the end of our 45 to the other side end of its 45. 15 5/8 for the middle shelf. And 15 3/4 for the top. You may have seen in my earlier videos when we talked about this corner, it was an afterthought when it was built. There's absolutely nothing square over here. Things bow out one way or the other. There's actually a 1/2 inch difference in the thickness of this wall from this end to this end. Everything's off. Everything starts moving, shifting, so just about everything in here on this side, is going to be a custom cut because we still want things to match up and fit. I don't want to cut them both 15 5/8 and then have a bigger gap up here. Okay, so we're going to custom cut just about everything and make everything flow and look right. All right, let's go cut some metal. Okay, see now these are shelves. What we're doing real quick is we're making sure we have a tilt from the back to the front. It doesn't have to be a real big one, but you want the water to flow off of it. And with these trims, you want to make sure the trims on these top ledges are not beveled up, stopping the water. So just your torpedo level and make sure that you have a slight angle. I'm not sure if you can see that or not, but we do have a good angle. Nor is our trim hanging over the front edge of the tile. All right, now we're going to prep the area that we're going to hang our metal trim with some thin set to help hold it in place and seat it while we set the towel underneath the window ledge. Y'all hear that knocking? That's my girlfriend. I know when I hear that knock, answer the door. Or in this case, the phone. Not while I'm mudding. Sometimes she just has to wait. Have on my phone a few distinctive tones, one of which is my girlfriend, my father, my son, my daughter. And that's it. Everything else and everybody else has a place and a time. So I'm not sure how too well you can see this, but basically she likes sending me texts with Starbucks on it, knowing that I can't get any. And looks like she picked up a cute little figurine for the RV. If it says, "Be a happy camper." That's pretty cool. But there you go, basic text from my girlfriend while I'm trying to work. Nothing better to stop and get cleaned up for, so I can mess with my phone and open it up to get teased. Oh well, back to work. Okay, a little tip to help you with cleanup early. We hung the tile and the metal trim. You're gonna have thin set that gets pushed up in your gaps that you want your grout to be in. So while it's still wet, take a scraper, and we're going to go in there and scrape that out so we're not trying to dig it out when it comes time to grout. Alright, so you can tell that took a couple moments, but if we let that dry and try to do that later before we grout, you're going to be in there scraping and you're going to spend a lot more time trying to get your lines clean so it can hold grout for you. So, tool tip, I always keep a 5-way in my tool belt. This is Husky 5-way, had it for a long time. You can see it's pretty worn. Never leaves my side. It is so handy for many applications, and we'll probably see a few as we go along. While we're on the 5-way, I always keep a second 5-way in my tool belt, just in case I leave one sitting down somewhere. This one's a Purdy. It flips out, locks in place, has all the basic tools, everything you need it, and some other stuff on it that I haven't found. While we're on the subject of 5-ways, I always keep a second one in my pouch. This one's a Purdy. You get it at most Sherwin-Williams paint stores. It flips out, has a little lock on it right here, as you can tell. Locks in place, but it's a little bit smaller. It's compactable. It's a good backup to keep in my tool pouch. So I never know when I leave this somewhere. I try not to, but if I do, I have this one. Very rarely will I find myself without one or the other.
All right, that's it for this segment. I hope you enjoyed it. Stick around for the next one. It'll be coming to you shortly.